What up, though, Field G's? Welcome back to Luke G's Field Review. You know, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna go live today, people. I had a lot that I wanted to cover, and I felt good about covering the things that I wanted to cover. But I wasn't even sure if I was gonna go live. So sorry for the impromptu live, man. So let me know if y'all can hear me out there. What up, though? I see we got Mr. Adam in the building. What up, though? We got CA3. What up, though? We got the General himself, General G. Berry. Listen, I know somebody going to watch this video and not get through the first part of it, but this name you see on the screen right here, make sure that you go and subscribe to his channel. He is going to be one of the newest, hottest YouTubers out there. And I just wanted to make sure that he gets all the love that he and support that he needs so he can get this thing popped because the man knows his football. We got Mr. Brian Farrell. What up, though? We got Kool-Aid and Cornbread. Man, I love this dude's name. What up, though? We got Foot Clan 004. What up, though? We got Sean Gaming. What's up, though? We got Tim Madison. I hope I said that right. What up, though? Keydrix, the man who didn't even want to be in Pick'ems and somehow is doing really good. We got Defensive Masterclass. What up, though? We got Detroit Drew. What up, though? Let's see. We got there's almost Stepping. I hope I said that. Stepping Paisley. I hope I said that. Yeah, it was a hard one, man. It was really a hard one. But my job is to make sure that I get the emotions out the way. And when the emotions are out the way, is to give you the facts. And now that my emotions is out the way, I got to give you the facts. And I got a lot that I want to cover because I was sitting up here and I was thinking about all of this. And I got hit with a very simple question. And it's a question that I don't even think many of us thought about, but we're going to get into it. I'm going to finish getting all the names in. We got George Morgan, Dan Sum. We got Mr. Chris Cashbar. We got One Pride 40, Zach Schwarzer. I hope I said that right. It says, I'm still in shock. Yeah. Yeah. The shock is going to be real. Trust me. We're going to feel this one because it's going to be different. I'm also going to try to get the phones going for you because I know that I promised it and I want to make sure that I am a man of my word. And so I want to give people a chance to call in and vent and we talk about it. But we do have topics and some structures that we're going to have for the show because there's some things I want to jump on and jump on it hard. And the reason I'm leaving it, I'm still in shock in there because I think that is the overall census of what happened. But once I got past that, okay, once I got past that, I was assured at some things that I saw, and I felt good about it. So that was the thing that jumped out most to me, and I want to make sure that I do a fair job of doing that. This was so impromptu. I didn't even post it on Twitter. I didn't do anything that I usually do. I just wanted to get on and talk football with my football folks who want to talk football with me. So here's the first question, people, and then I'm gonna put the phone number out there. If you're a football fan, and I know many of you are a football fan because you would not be here on Luke G's Field Review if you was not. Welcome to the show, Mr. David Jackson. So let's get this thing popping. Here's the question I want to start this show off with. As I sit up here and I look at this game, I'm trying to figure out what was worse. What was worse? Now, I want you to think long and hard about this because I want you to truly understand what I'm about to ask you, okay? What was worse? Watching Michigan struggle with Army or watching the Detroit Lions tie with the Arizona Cardinals? Now, you may be thinking, look, I thought you only taught Lions. I talk football. And something was interesting enough for me to figure it out. What was worse, in your opinion? Was it, and I'm probably going to still do a video about it because I got strongest opinions about it, but what was worse, watching Michigan struggle with Army or watching the Lions tie that game. Now, before you answer that question, because I see they coming in, I got people going, "Oh, this is easy, Lions." You know, but before you answer that question, ask yourself this: how does a team like Michigan, who has one of the highest, if not the highest paid coach in college football, struggling with a school like Michigan? How's that happening? So I'm going to put this out there. Hope this phone line works, man. I have been having a lot of problems with it ever since they shut me down. That is the phone number to get in. Hit me up. Let's talk about it, and let's see where we get with this, okay? Because like I said, there's a lot that's going on, and I want to be able to what's the word I want to use? I want to be able to have this discussion openly and have people get their opinions out. Okay. So phone lines are open. Call in so we can talk about it. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. I sat down and I thought what I saw from the Lions was absolutely disgusting. I really did. But I walked away from that game with a little bit of encouragement. So yeah, while the game was absolutely horrendous and horrible and pathetic and any other bad word you want to use for it, I still walked away from the Michigan game, and I'm a State fan. I still walked away from a Michigan game feeling that, God, we didn't even have the worst week. So we got our first person up. What up, though? Welcome to the Lukegsfieldreview. Who this? Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Oh, wait, you know what? It does help for me to put this on there. All right. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna make sure I get this thing to work right. All right, caller, hang up, and then I'm gonna have to make one adjustment. I didn't plug in something. I'm gonna plug it in right now. Caller, hang up, and then give me 1 second. Oh, wait. Caller, can you hear me? Nope. Can you hear me now? Nope. All right. All right. Well, as y'all can see, this thing's still acting stupid. I ain't gonna worry myself to death with it, but I'm gonna fix it. Give me a second and it'll be fixed. But I looked at that Michigan game and I said to myself, how does a team like Michigan struggle? And that really helped me put the Lions game in perspective, because what I realized was college and pros are different. In college, you literally have certain things that you can do to lure the best of the best players there. It's not even really a draft. It's more like you bagging a kid to come your way. And who did Army bag to come their way that was giving all that flux to Michigan? But then I looked at the Lions game and I said, the one reason why I felt more confident about what happened in the Lions game versus Michigan was because in the Lions game, I actually was able to pull some good out of it. In the Michigan game, I can't pull no good out of it, and they won. I didn't pull nothing out of it. I saw a head coach who was supposed to be a quarterback guru who ain't coached up now one single quarterback that he's had. In fact, quarterbacks have left him and done better than been with him. And I've seen a guy who literally looks like their team is constantly unprepared. Shea Patterson looks to be getting worse to me. Like, he looks worse on every facet of the game. He just looks absolutely worse. I see on the Lions side, I saw at least this is one thing I knew. I know that we have an offensive play caller now, because you can see the play calling differences between Darrell Bevel and that guy who I will not name were night and day. Okay, and to me that was a huge one, a huge one. Now Andrew says he lost money. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I am. So I know the loss is going to be harder on you because you lost money. You lost money. No way that what happened should have happened. But the truth was, when I watched that game, while there was a number of bad things that we can point out, from Taylor Decker to, in my opinion, bad special teams, because you can't let a punt get blocked right there. You can't give a block to free the kicker up at all. They got a crucial penalty on a punt that put us back further. So special teams was a straight dud. A straight dud. Now, I have not hit on that, Andrew. I'm just getting through all the bads because that's another one of the bads. They couldn't run the ball. They just couldn't. Our offensive line couldn't establish the line of scrimmage. Our defensive line couldn't establish the line of scrimmage. Okay. And when you go through and you just look at all those little things, those little small things that we probably shouldn't be talking about, most of it, what ended up happening was we didn't execute well enough. Another thing that was bad in that game was clock management. The biggest thing that cost us the game was coaching. So when you go through and you look at what happened in this game and you're asking yourself this question right here, which is what was harder to swallow? Watching Michigan struggle against Army. I want y'all to be clear. Even if you didn't see the game, Michigan went to overtime. I think it was 2 overtimes, if I'm not mistaken, but they went to OT with Army. And then when they finally won by field goal, they was excited as all get out. Like, this ain't going to hurt their rankings. Like, this ain't going to set them back. Like, this was bad. This was really bad. And the worst part about it was so bad that I literally sat up there and had to ask myself, what was worse for us? What was worse for us for real, for real? I mean, when we go through all the list of the bad things that happened in the Lion game, do it stack up? Do it make more sense that it was worse than what we saw from Michigan? Because Michigan, but here's the thing. I want y'all to pay attention to this on the screen, people. He says, but Michigan should have won by double digits. They should have. The Lions should have too. They should have, but the Lions should have too. However, what was the one good thing that you came out and you was like, yeah, Michigan did that? What was that one good thing? What was that one good thing? Here's what I know. In terms of good, our play calling was better up until that one stretch. In terms of good, we got ourselves a tight end, actually 2, because that one catch that was caught by Jesse James was in traffic. So we got ourselves a tight end. We got ourselves we got ourselves a secondary. Everybody was complaining about the secondary and was in constant worry about the secondary. And even I was like, that secondary got to be suspicious, but it can't be worse than the offensive line. But here's the thing. When you look at that Michigan game, what was the good that came out of it? Jay must say the only good thing was our defense. I didn't see that. I forget how many times Army ran, but they ran it down y'all throat. That's not good defense. That's total domination. That's domination. When you can run the ball down their throat, that's domination. So I got way more positives coming out of the Lions game than I did coming out of, say, Michigan going against Army. And the worst part about it is those same people who literally what's the word I want to use? I'm trying to make sure I use the words right. Those same people that I saw in that game were so disgusting that I walked away saying to myself, where did Harbaugh improve this team at all? Where did he improve this team at? Because I don't see it. I don't see where he improved this team at. Now, in terms of the Lions, I saw improvement. While we didn't have the best rushing attack, we at least committed to it long enough for us to have an establishment for the quarterback to throw. We found ways to help a rookie set a record when everybody said that drafting the rookies don't work. They don't help. They don't do no good. There's nothing special about taking a rookie. Okay. I heard all those and then some. Okay. And when it boiled down to the overall view of it, the Lions still came out with more positives. Okay. Michigan was at home. Detroit was on the road. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm here to make facts. Michigan has a way better chance of getting top tier players. Army get people who volunteer for service. And shout out to my Army, Navy, Air Force. And I know I'm forgetting some branches, but to our armed forces and to those veterans, shout out to them. But those guys ain't getting it. When you go through and you look at that game, ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Okay. So my thing is this. Where do we start this process? Because when things got bad, it got bad. Okay. And the worst part about it is I found more goods in this game than that. Now we're gonna try this one more time with me opening this phone lines up. Okay. So they are open. I believe I got it set up this time around, man. I'm paying attention. Feel free to get in there. Okay. And hopefully it works. Number is on the screen. Let's talk about it. That's the first thing on the docket. The next thing I want to talk about is, how do we move on from this first game against the Cardinals and look at the Chargers game a little bit different, because that's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people. Okay, that's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people. The one thing I did was I looked at that game against the Chargers and I said, I see y'all weaknesses, and it lines up with what we did good in the first game, which was find the tight end and hit the receivers on the outside. That's what it boiled down to. So number on the screen, looks like we got our first caller. Caller, what up, though? Welcome to the show. You there?
Hello?
You there, caller? All right, it looks like he may have hung up. Let me see. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you can hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
I'm here.
All right, let's talk about it, man. Let's start off. First thing first.
I'm here.
Okay, I hear you. You hear me, right?
Yep.
All right. First things first. What was harder for you to watch? Michigan struggling against Army, or the Lions struggling against the Cardinals down that stretch? Now, keep in mind, you got to turn your thing down the back because we can hear that. Struggling against the Cardinals down that stretch. Caller, you there?
I can't hear you, man, through the phone.
All right, hold on. Let me turn this over here. Caller, you there? Hold on.
I can't hear you through the phone.
Hold on 1 second. I just need to fix one little thing, people. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can't hear you now.
All right. So you heard my question, because I know you got your volume up in the back. Let's turn that down and let's get this thing going.
Yeah, I turned it off.
All right. So what was worse for you to watch? Michigan struggle against Army, or the Detroit Lions choke away a win?
But quick disclaimer, I'm CA3 Sports Talk, and I'm Michigan State fan, so it was lovely to watch. But
so it's you, huh, Carl?
But you know what?
All right, go ahead, talk to him then. Tell me, what was worse?
Yeah, but to me, Michigan was a lot worse because I was watching the Michigan game, and the Army was just running the ball down their throat the whole game. Just like there was no, the defense was just, the Army was just controlling the time of possession because they was running the ball down their throats the whole game. And then, Shea Patterson doesn't look good to me at all. And then, added insult to injury, you don't have your best wide receiver, but that's still not an excuse to get held down to the wire by Army. The only reason why they won that game is because the quarterback made a stupid pass in the red zone, and Shea just kept running the ball, but I think they would have won the game if he didn't make that dumb turnover at the. You know what I'm talking about, the
right?
Where he threw the interception in the red zone.
Right. So for you feel like they was better served coming out. You feel like it was more good coming out of the Lions game. Now the question everybody's going to wonder is, the question everybody's going to wonder is let's be honest. Are you just feeling like that because you're a Michigan State fan? Now I'm a State fan, but I still had a nasty taste in my mouth.
I don't feel that way. I didn't see any positive out of Michigan that I the reason I didn't see any many positive out of Michigan in that game. I saw a lot of positive out of the Lions. I love the secondary. I love how Rashawn Melvin played that role. We finally have a second corner. I didn't expect him to play that well. I like how the linebacking core played without Derek Davis, and I like the defense as a whole. We just got tired and we started playing prevent defense. So that's why they scored all those points in the fourth quarter. And I like what I saw from the offense for the most part. It was just one player that really cost us the game. If you look back at the tape, you see that Terry Decker got beat on all those bad sacks, like that fumble. Terry Decker got beat.
Yeah, he had five penalties, I believe it was. I felt like it was 8, but it was only 5.
Yeah, he had 5 penalties and I think he was responsible for all those 3 sacks.
And we're not even gonna talk about those sacks. Yeah, those sacks was horrible. But then let me tell you what happened to me today, Carl. So I don't really listen to 97.1 The Ticket, but I wanted to see how they was gonna spin the story today. And so 97.1 The Ticket, Mike Valenti starts off, and he starts off really good, right? Like I'm with him. We are on the same page. He's like, yeah, the Lions lost because it had nothing to do with this timeout. And I'm like, I agree. That timeout didn't have anything to do with it. Blown calls by officiating had nothing to do with it. I agree with all that. It then turned around. He says, you lost because of poor coaching. I said, yep, you right on, Mike Valenti. He then goes, and you lost because of Matthew Stafford. And I go, now wait, we're not doing this for real. And he goes, you have a head coach who doesn't have the inept brain to make good decisions and is no good. And then he turns around and says, and you got a quarterback who can only score 7 points in the second half. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now I know 2 things can be true. But I also know this, okay? I also know that even with 2 things being true, I know that if the person who calls the plays call it, I execute, what's the problem? He then says with Stafford almost threw an interception with 5 seconds on the clock. I said, okay, well, since we're going to play that game.
People don't realize the ball was tipped at the line.
But forget the tip pass. The tip pass. Let's talk about why is he even taking that snap? Once he got sacked, the game was done. Yeah. A smart coach would have understood that I have no timeouts. The only thing I can do is hurt my team by calling an extra play or get a player in trouble to get himself some scars. I'm not going to say the I word. Don't want to jinx us. Nope.
I mean,
just so you know, if you see the number on the screen, that means anybody can call. So make sure you call in, man, because we're going to talk about it. So,
I mean, but number 9 played his butt off, man. I can't really blame him. He's the reason why we tied this game. That last possession.
Man, this is what he said, though. Mike Valenti said that that's not the case. So, man, I appreciate you calling in, people calling in, Carl, but I just wanted you to know that, when we look at this, you got to take it and put it in perspective and say, we had more good things happen in our game, one against the Cardinals, than Michigan did against a team that they should have out-recruited.
I like a lot of stuff that I thought I was wrong with the game. It's fixable.
I agree with that, man. Appreciate you calling in, Carl. Talk to you later. All right, now we got Mr. 913 in the building. What up, though? Who this?
Hey, Luke, this is Dan.
Dan, what's going on, man?
Football.com, man. Hey, man, I'm calling you from Vegas, man. How you doing?
Did you say you calling from Vegas?
I'm in Vegas, man.
Oh man, how much money did you lose, man? I know you said you lost some money. Was it a lot?
I did. You know what? If you watch, I put a lot of action on the Chiefs.
Okay.
And then I had a parlay with the Chiefs and the Lions. It was a small parlay, so I came out positive. So I'm mad at the Lions, but I'm going to touch base on this here in just a second. I want to talk about Michigan just for a second here. I'll make it quick. I'm not a Michigan fan. I don't live in the area, but one of the big things about Michigan, I remember Jameis Winston for the Combine. He went up to Michigan and he said, if you compare Michigan facilities to Florida State facilities, he said Florida State was like a junior high school. Michigan's got some of the nicest facilities in the world.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
I mean, they really do. Yeah, you got boosters. You got John Harbaugh, or Jim Harbaugh, my mistake, who's supposed to be a top 10 college coach, and Michigan does not look like a top 10 team. I mean, you guys tell me, is Michigan a top 10 team?
Nah.
You get these 5-star quarterbacks. You got 5-star players. And I'm looking at a team. I don't even know if they should be ranked. I mean, Army's not a bad team, but you should beat them by a couple touchdowns, shouldn't you?
I mean, if you just go from this standpoint of saying, look at the ability to recruit the talent. In NFL, teams really get selected by the people. In college, the players select you. Like, you spend all this time whining and dining parents. You spend all this time whining and dining players. And who's picking Army that's not enlisted?
Who? And Shea Patterson, this is a former 5-star player, and you nailed this, by the way. This is one of the reasons why I love your show. This is a 5-star player who looks like he's getting worse.
Yeah, he's getting real bad. He's
actually be a
he's getting bad
candidate. And now he's going to, unless he does something drastic, he's going to come up into the draft and he's going to have a 6th, 7th round grade. He's going to be like an undrafted.
I'm thinking undrafted. I really am thinking unless he goes out and do something special. What? Take it a step further though, Andrew. Take it a step further, Andrew. If you just look at this part right here, look at this part right here. Jim Harbaugh was said to be a quarterback guru. That's what they said he is. He's a quarterback guru. He made Andrew Luck. That's what they said. Right?
I watched Andrew Luck in college, and I mean, here's the thing. Andrew Luck's an exception because I don't think it mattered what school he went to. That guy was going to be a top 5 pick no matter where he went. I don't think that was that much of Harbaugh, and I think that's being proven because Shea Patterson is a 5-star kid who should be a future first-round pick. And what kind of grade does he have right now, today? Is he even draftable right now?
I couldn't draft him. I swear I couldn't. He looks bad. And if you look at last year and look at his progression to this year, it did nothing to make you feel better about him. Like, Michigan has done nothing to make you feel like he's having progression in the upward direction versus the downward direction. Michigan did nothing in that game against Army that makes me believe that they're going to beat Ohio State. I don't even think they beat Michigan State. They lucky if they beat Maryland. They lucky if they beat Iowa. And when you go through and you just look at those teams in and of itself, and then you compare what that game was to what the Lions did, there was nothing good that came out of that Michigan game that would make you look at that Lions game like, dang, we had it worse. Yeah.
I mean, what's Michigan? You guys tell me. I live in Kansas here. You guys tell me. Michigan to me looks like a 7-8 win team. Let me ask you this here. Is Harbaugh finally on the hot seat?
He should be. He should be.
I think he should be too.
Yeah, he should be.
You can't be Michigan and be a 7-8 win team. You can't do it. And I'm not associated with Michigan. I'm not even a Michigan fan. But Michigan has to be a top, I'd say minimum top 15 team. They got the resources. They got the players. I think that Michigan is a 7-8 win team. You've got to take a strong look at saying, hey, maybe we should move on from Harbaugh.
They win 7 games, and you're gonna have to move on from them. But appreciate you calling in, man. We got more calls coming in. That's Andrew from Andrew's Football. Make sure y'all check out his channel. The dude is phenomenal.
Hey, real quick before I let you go here, I want to talk about your Lions.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of positives. Stafford's a great quarterback. Me and you agree on that.
Say that again. Say it again. People hard of hearing.
This is a superstar. You got to establish the run here. I'm gonna let you go here, talk about it, but man, fix that running game. And me and you need to get together when they play the Chiefs in a couple weeks.
Hey, see you soon, man.
All right, man. Talk to you later, brother.
Yep. I mean, there you have it right there, people. Hey, welcome to the field review. Who this?
Hello, Luke G. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine. Who am I talking to?
Wonderful, wonderful. This is your buddy Vash Starwin. I wanted to come in and say
Vash,
hello and
what's going on, Vash? Man, y'all don't even understand. Vash be out here in these streets rapping. Vash, Adam, General G. Berry, Don Bird, George Merck. Man, them guys be out here rapping. What's going on, Vash?
Hey, well, bless all of you. Well, first I'll say, well, it's good to finally say hi and meet the field general in person.
Man, appreciate it.
Big fan, huge
Thanks.
fan of the DSA, huge fan of all of you. So I really do hope, I'll say my little commercial advertisement plug it first. Please, if you have not, please subscribe to all of the DSA members. They're here for us. They're here for our teams. Hit the like. And so here's my take on it. I'm going to start out with the negatives, and then I'll go to the positives.
Okay, go ahead. Work it out.
So I'm going to keep it real, Luke G. Luke G, that's all I know how to do. I did not think we played all that great in the first third, 3 quarters, but it's new for game one, new game jitters. But I mean, look how the Vikings and the Patriots come out the gate. It's one thing that really hit a home run for me that you were saying is, like a lot of us, I'm really sick of us starting out slow. I want to be one of these teams that, like you said, just punches good teams in the mouth. But one thing, being a Lions fan my whole life, it's like we used to beat the medium or the kind of the lousy teams. We have trouble beating really good teams. And it looks like this year we have the talent to beat really good teams. It just didn't look like, it just looked sloppy. Maybe not converting third downs. And like everyone else, I see a lot of mistakes and holes in the offensive line. My God, I hope they don't end up getting Stafford killed, because you could see he looked really good. Like last year was the only time I thought that, wow, this guy, he doesn't look good, where Stafford didn't look so good coming out the gate. He looked pretty sharp. That wasn't really my criticism. Like everyone else, I think it was coaching mistakes, not trusting the quarterback. I just think that we should have beat the Arizona Cardinals by 3 to 5 touchdowns. We have more talent than we've had in a long time, and so just O-line had 4 decisions. But like you guys, how exciting is it to see someone with the skill, intelligence, and size and speed and smarts of T.J. Hawkinson? Like I found his mom's page on YouTube where they're showing clips of him in high school and just talking about his backstory. Like, this guy just caught everything. So I think that is one thing to be extremely excited about, is that on his first game, T.J. Hawkinson looked like a superstar.
Well, you know what I find funny is I got my butt handed to me for even bringing up the tight end. People despised me. They hated me. We ain't getting no tight end. I'm like, we're taking T.J. Hawkinson. No,
oh my God, I don't understand that or see why. That makes no sense to me.
Well, I think what it was people wanted Josh Allen, or they wanted like Ed Oliver, or they wanted Bush. And I told them, I said, but when are you going to get this man a tight end? And I said, that's going to be able to do certain things.
But what do all these good championship teams have? Is they have someone they can dink and dunk the ball to that can also work as a blocker, or it's just so important for getting that first down. Like, if a team has a superstar tight end, that just gets them out of it in a pinch. I mean, we might have found our own Gronk. And, like, this guy just looks like he's got his head on his shoulders. Like, Gronk was kind of like a party boy, like a flashy boy. And he had but this guy looks like he wants to kick butt at football. That's all he's ever done. So did you
feel that? Did you when you walked away from that game, did you feel like, okay, yeah, I saw some bad in there, so it was some disgustingness to it, but did you feel like there was any lost hope in terms of, like, yeah, we can't beat the Chargers? Did you feel like that was a real reality for you?
Luke G, my good friend, I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I was going to get to that. You keep me on track here. So okay, is referring to the Chargers. So don't be too, don't throw in the towel yet, Lions fans, because yes, they started sloppy, but we have way more talent than we did last year. And we're going to be at home. If we can somehow hash it out, do the powwow, sit down with your offense and defense, and there's a lot of progress and work and things that could be done this week. You've seen teams that look awful or terrible and can turn it around. It's one game. So, heck, if anything, I'm hoping they kind of feel ashamed of themselves and they're a little embarrassed because we really should have blown that team out.
Absolutely.
And instead, all we kept doing is shooting ourselves in the foot. So hopefully next week we're prepared, and we have something to prove and we're at home. I really do think, I'm not giving up on them yet. I really do think with the talent we have and how they should play, I think we should handily beat the Chargers and beat them by a touchdown or two at least. So I do think it's possible. I haven't given up hope yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it boils down to is, while I'm discussing it that and I'm not happy, I am on a wait and see basis. I think it is hard for me to just be like, oh, they're going to beat this team. But when I go through and I do my job and I take my emotions out of it and I do my job to bring you guys factual information, what I find is this, okay? I find that if you look at that game that the Chargers just had against the Colts, I said, what did they do? They started using the run game to set up the pass and get the ball out into space. And I look at the Detroit Lions and I'm like, yo, we could be in that similar situation trying to do that same thing to do it. But when I walked away from that Michigan game, and I'm not a Michigan fan, I was very like, what in the world is this? What is this?
Yeah.
And there was nothing good I can glean from it. It wasn't no good coaching calls. It wasn't no good, the defense played hard and they stepped up. Man, no. They play old school football with y'all and ran it down your throat. That's the worst way to lose. Don't believe me? Go and talk to who did I'm drawing a blank right now. Minnesota just played them.
Oh, you don't have to sell me, Luke G. I know you're smart and you do your homework, my buddy.
But I mean, and even when you look at Minnesota, when Minnesota beat they just beat,
and they beat a decent team, right? And that's a statement. Now, granted, they were at home, but that's the thing. The Vikings are a proud organization, not a history of losing, and they just believe like we're going to come out here and take it to them.
Right? They went.
I just wanted,
like, they literally went after the Falcons with a vengeance. Like what's his name? Kirk Cousins. He was 8 for 10 for 98 yards and 1 touchdown rushing and 1 touchdown passing.
Yeah, you see that? They like made him throw 10 times. They're like, just be smart.
Yep.
Don't turn the ball over.
Yep.
But hey, it's smart. I don't know about our line. One thing I was going to say is a lot of Lions fans. See, I've lived in and out of Michigan. I've been back in Metro Detroit a couple of years now. Is we want to get real excited and hit that blow up button, the big red button where you blow everything up. Even if it does, I'm gonna say this for the Lions. Even if it does look kind of atrocious and it's driving you crazy and breaking your heart, if they have some time together and grow and progress, and they keep getting the talent, because these guys also, a lot of our organization, we took pieces from an organization that had the best success in football in the last 20 years. So it's still the Lions, and we're trying to improve and change our culture. It might not happen overnight. What I'm trying to say is don't lose hope. Don't be one of these huge hater Lions fans. Let's keep that positivity alive. Even if it starts to look ugly or scary, the more time they're together, I'm just the hopeful person that they'll work it out, because more time spent together in evolving and in learning is better than perhaps just blowing everything up, perhaps, because I'm sick of that. We have some good talent here, some good people, and I just want to see that grow and progress. I know we want to win right now. We thought we might have been. You never know what the season might hold, though. It's just one game.
Well, I hear that, man, and appreciate for all the support you give for the DSA, especially what you give for me. And I take my hat off to you, man. And you make a lot of good points in the great call about not losing hope, and I'm telling you, man, you, George Morgan, those guys who who've been here for a long time. It's so many of y'all, man. I mean, I would be on here for
I
hours.
love the DSA. I think it's one of the neatest things I've ever seen. So tell all your friends and family, tell your friends, let's make this thing grow. You guys are awesome. You're sticking up for us.
Hey,
it's
man.
Our own radio show, our own channel for our own Detroit sports teams, Lions and Pistons and whatever it may be. This is a beautiful thing. So I just want it to grow. What was that movie, Little Shop of Horrors with that Venus flytrap Audrey? I want this thing just to grow and get huge and take, I want the nation to be Lions fans and Detroit fans, and you know what I'm saying.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks so much for calling in. And
all right.
Hey, stay tuned, man. We got much more coming.
All right, that star went out. I bid you adieu. You guys have a nice night. Support the DSA. God bless all of you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I mean, that's how you do it, people. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I mean, you call in, get your point in, and get on out. I mean, and like I said, he been rocking with us. He been pushing us and everything, and I couldn't expect any more. Now, we got one more call coming in, and then I'll shut it down, the phone line, for a minute, and I'll take questions and stuff from the chat so we can get into it. Now, James Holyfield, I got to put this up because when I saw that, you brought a tear to a brother eye. As he states here, James Holyfield says, the DSA over 97.1 the ticket. Yeah, because we got to talk about that, and I got to talk about what's going on with Mike Valenti. Let's see who we got on the phone line with us. Welcome to the Field Review. What up, though? Who this?
What up? I'm back.
I'm back. I'm back. Who's that?
It's CA3.
Oh, CA3. All right, well, CA3, you on call back. Go ahead, man. Talk to him. I'll let you be the phone call until I open them back up.
I was saying why I was gonna try to say why I'm confident about this Chargers game, man. I think to beat the Chargers, you just gotta establish the run, man.
That's it.
I saw that Chargers Colts game, man. Marlon Mack ran all over them, 176 yards. And I think we can run all over them and win. And the reason why the Colts lost because they just left a bunch of points on the board. Adam Vinatieri can convert on the kicks. And I'm just confident about the game. I think we can win. But but then I'm going to talk about the Vikings and Falcons game. I mean, to me, the Vikings just dominated the Falcons because the Falcons have no run defense, man, and nobody in their defense really scares me, honestly. And on offense, the Falcons looked they didn't look good because the offensive line is really young, and they're getting to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan didn't look so good, and their running backs are just all small. They have no power running game at all.
Well, I mean, we didn't get our running game going either. The offensive line to me as a whole, there was like two plays where I remember the center, Ragnow, got blown up and Stafford stepped away from it right up the middle. I thought that was disgusting. There was another play where I felt that we, for some reason, could not establish the line of scrimmage to get a push. So it wasn't like it was this cakewalk of us getting through and getting things done. It was more of us just being able to say, okay, we need to be able to establish that run and get a commitment of it so people know that, okay, put some respect on it, or they're not going to respect it. But what the run did do, it did enough for them to come up just enough, and it started opening up for the tight end TJ Hockenson to start having that day he was having. He was clowning, and it was for a number of reasons that he was clowning. So most of it in and of itself, him just knowing how to get open and find openings in the gap in the defense. And I give credit to the coaching staff for that, because they, for some reason, they dropped a depth chart for the starters this week, and they had down Jesse James, and then the game start, and TJ Hockenson is out there. so I mean, they're playing mind games. But if I can understand somebody saying that this was a more of a nastier taste, if you look at the standpoint, they brought a quarterback in on the practice squad who supposed to knew what they was gonna do, and we didn't do that. Did Joe Dow play?
No reason why
I didn't hear a penalty against him. I think Joe Dow did play, and I don't remember seeing a penalty against him. Most of our penalties, believe it or not, came from number 68, aka Taylor Dacker. He had a really rough day. I mean, it was rough. So yeah.
And then every time when Perez got a penalty and they zoomed in the camera on that Ohio State tattoo, I just wanted to punch him for that.
Well, yeah, I absolutely get that. I do, and like I said, it's one.
But I just think. I mean, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. But I mean, I just think I feel confident about next week. I think a lot of stuff that we did was very fixable. The coaching was bad. I mean, but I thought like I saw a lot of good things. So
look, and before I let you go, I gotta read this one. I'm gonna jump this one up. He said he told me don't even say dog name. I can't even name the left tackle's name, but the truth is, I guarantee you they are on the phone making phone calls trying to bring people in. And I do have a video on the possibilities that we can have at that position coming out soon. But I wanted to get on and just talk football with you, man. Hey, thanks for calling in, Carl, man. I'm gonna shut the phone lines down for a few and just take a few questions from the chat just so we can make sure we keep the interaction going, man. I want to be able to talk to the people. And man, appreciate you for calling in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, listen, let's be honest about this, man. And J-Mo did tell me that he think that the depth chart was a fool's gold. And I was like, yeah, but it made more sense to start him and then ease the guy in. Nope. They saw the mismatch waiting to happen and they let it happen. And Vash, who just called in, he says that old line and that mistakes that we're making at times, oh my God, that can cause us not to be able to run as well. And it can cause us a nasty injury. This is the other positive that I don't think we took out of this. We got out of that game with no scars. If you were to go through and you look at the rest of the league and the divisions and stuff like that, what you will find out is that not only did we come out unscathed, a lot of people didn't. The Jacksonville Jaguars lost their quarterback for the season. The Kansas City Chiefs is rumored to have lost Tyreek Hill for the season. You had so many people getting hurt this first week, it didn't make no sense. And meanwhile, we came out clean. We came out relatively unscathed and unbothered. And I was very impressed and shocked at the same time by this, because I'm thinking, okay, how is this possible that we can come out like this and not have these problems? And we did. And I was happy to see that. Now, on the other end of it, it brings me to my next question. If you're going into week 2, or as a Lions fan, are you confident that we're beating the Chargers? Because the Chargers, while they were able to get some production from their running back Elks is not David Johnson. Austin Elks, whatever his name is, he's not David Johnson. Okay. When you go through, I know they got Hunter Henry. I know they got Keenan Allen. I know they got the other big dude. I'm drawing a blank on his name. And I don't know why. God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. But at the end of the day, they had some struggles going on, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And part of me feels like we can expose that. Part of me feels like we can get that done. Now, before we get further off into this Charger game, like I said, Mike Valenti said that this loss falls on the quarterback. Like, he should have won. He felt like that should have happened. And this question right here is one of the ones that I brought up before I even got to the quarterback, which was, where the hell was Flowers? Where was he? He wasn't able. I mean, I know they was chipping him. I know this. I get it. But when he was not getting double teamed the whole game. He had one-on-ones. I know. I went back and I watched the game. I went back and watched it again. Yes, I did. I sat up today and rewatched the entire game. It's a whole lot easier when you can fast forward past commercials. And I'm telling you, he was getting a lot of one-on-ones and was not winning those battles, which is one of the issues. Now I know they brought him in to generate pressure, but where was it? And then that's when it dawned on me. The more I got towards the second half, they started using him to contain the quarterback. To me, the game was lost when it was like a little bit at 6 minutes and 12 seconds. And it was 6 minutes and 12 seconds, and we ran a dive, and then we ran a dive again, and then we ran a dive again. And I'm thinking, are you really trying to kill clock right now? Really? This is what it is. And to me, when you play like that, that means you're playing not to lose versus playing to win. People who play to win just keep scoring. Because guess what? If they was playing to win, they would have understood that in that moment with the 6 minutes on the clock, if they score, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, the game is over anyway. Because you're talking the game of possessions. And that didn't happen. But I still walked away coming out feeling a whole lot better about what happened with the Detroit Lions versus what happened with the University of Michigan. If you look at the Michigan State game, okay, look at the Michigan State game. I watched that game and I got bored because they was just rolling. They really was. It wasn't much that they couldn't do. It was like they was having their way with them. Like they had just went to the Bunny Ranch in Vegas and paid. That was a little bit of a shout out for you, Andrew. Not saying you at the Bunny Ranch, but you in Vegas. So, but those little things I looked at and I'm like, yo. So at this point, I'm gonna take questions from y'all. So whatever y'all want to talk about, put it in there. We'll go from there. Just as long as it's football. I don't want no religion, politics, and all that other stuff. Leave it in there. But Boss SAM Alpha 21 says, Luke, who do you think is going to be the big time player versus the Chargers? And surprisingly, the big time player towards the Chargers is going to have to be Marvin Jones. It's going to have to be. He's going to have to really step up like how Hilton stepped up for they quarterback. The receivers are going to have to be big. It's going to have to be big. Now let me see. So let me get to some of these questions. Let me see what else we got going on here. It says left on low. We need to trade for the left tackle from right. Who was that guy? Golly. MSU looking good. They did. I ain't see them out there choking against teams that's less inferior to them. Like, come on, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Let's see. We got 55. Was it 55 people in the chat? I don't know about the likes, but let's get those likes up, people. I just want to get y'all questions in. I know Nomis J put them. He said, "Oh, it was 3 minutes." Are you trying to say that they had 3 minutes when he tried to run the clock out? Because I promise you, I watched that game again and no, it wasn't. They started at about 6 minutes trying to kill clock. They punted, and then they marched, and then that's where all the problems came in at. So, nah, 3 minutes then. Says Chargers ran the ball fine against the Colts. Yeah, they did. They did. But here's the point I'm making was, how did the Colts make a game of it? That's the question. How did the Colts make a game of it? And why was it even to be a game in the first place? So it says you can see elements of Patricia's scheme. He had guys switching position. Yep, because even Jelani Tavai was at DN, outside linebacker, and middle linebacker as they wanted. And that was interesting to see. Kool-Aid and Cornbread said, I was impressed with Justin Kollman. Thoughts? I thought Kollman was cool. I was more impressed with Rashawn Melvin because I thought if I'm going to pick on a team, I'm going to pick on our linebackers and I'm going to pick on Rashawn Melvin. And he was having a hard time getting the ball over the line of scrimmage of his linemen because our linebackers were giving him hell. And Kollman did do his part up until they started saying, we're going to put you against, the faster guy and move Larry Fitzgerald around, because Larry Fitzgerald just started killing him with veteran route running. But overall, I got to be honest, our secondary was beautiful. And that was an area I thought I was going to be all panicky about. At Lukegsfieldreview, do you think that JD and Hand will come back this week? JD will, Hand won't. I bet you JD play because I know he was highly upset. He was very upset. It was no unknown secret or nothing like that. This was like something that he spoke of, and he was very upset because he said that he wished he was out there because there was things that he was seeing from the sideline that he could have changed. But Devin Kennard was the one in charge of changing the plays on defense, and he did a phenomenal job, in my opinion. But they got gas, and that's what happened when you leave your defense out there for long periods of time and you play not to lose versus play to win. They needed one more score. The defense got them multiple stops. And while people want to say, get rid of Jamal Agnew, let's start off with the first part. The blocking was horrible for him, but he needs to do a better job of recognizing that the blocking wasn't working and take a knee. So that was another issue for me that I was not happy to see. I was not happy to see him struggling to figure out how to move the ball. That should not occur in any facet of the game, and it did. Snacks is going to show up this time on defense in week 2. Is he mad? Oh, he big mad. He mad. In fact, he blames everything that happened on the defensive line with him. He said he got to be better and he got to have his guys better. He got to get them in better position. Yeah, they didn't listen. If y'all really want to hear something fun, I'll give you something fun to hear. Okay. Let me give you something fun for a moment. Okay. Because when I go through and I look at that game, I puke. And the reason I puke is because I realize how much we left out there. We left a lot out there to be desired, and it should have upset a lot of people. So when I just go through and I look at that, it was evident to me what was going on. But one of the things I want y'all to do is, and if you have time to do it, cool. If you don't, cool. I'm finna fix this for you right now. All I want you to do is to simply just go through, look at the stat line for the the game. And when you look at that stat line, I want you to look at the rushing. Now, the major stat line for the team will show Arizona rushed for 106 yards to 105 yards by the Lions. Now, once you look at that stat line, I want you to really go and look at who ran the ball for us. Because what you're going to find out is this. All right. David Johnson outran 2 running backs. Really 3 if you think about it. He outran 3 running backs if you add in the 1 carry that they decided to give to Ty Johnson. Okay. So Kerryon had 16 carries and 49 yards. CJ Anderson had 11 carries and 35 yards. Matthew Stafford had 3 carries for 22 yards. Ty Johnson 1 for 6. Marvin Jones 1 for 4. So you figure, okay, they had 105. If you just look at what the Cardinals did, David Johnson had 18 carries for 82 yards and average 4.6 yards rushing. 4.6 yards rushing. I don't even give a care what they did after that. But I can tell you this. We need to find ways to get that commitment going and to open up lanes, because our guys wasn't getting those open lanes. It just wasn't there. It wasn't no stretch plays. It wasn't like anything else going on that made sense. So that's what I look at. Now, Prophecy Zone News says, what happens when you double hawk? You don't, because now you're exposing yourself. Could you imagine what it would be like to be doubling the tight end? Go and ask people who double teamed Rob Gronkowski. Shame on you. Go and ask people who double teamed Travis Kelce. Shame on you. You opened up everything else, because the only way you can double him is with a safety. You definitely ain't finna execute 2 linebackers. I'm just gonna kill you underneath with a slot receiver, or just run my receiver with a drag route or a quick slant, which we did not call. We need to get out of the habit of being the nice guys and bury other teams. You ain't lying about that, because if I felt like they was doing that, I don't want to make my friend look bad stuff. Instead of keeping their foot on the paddle and forcing them into a bad situation. And it was really rough to see. But like I said, I walked out of that game with more things that I was feeling good about than I felt bad about. Like, I really did feel good about some things. I felt good about the balance in the play calling. I felt good about Martin's punts instead of the one that got blocked, but that's not on him. That is on the people who can't block for him. The same people who couldn't block for Jamal Agnew. The same people who got a penalty when Jamal Agnew did have a chance to make a return. I'm upset with the fact that they was letting Andy Isabella act the fool on kick returns and get good yardage. So, but I was encouraged with Jalen Reeves-Maybin. I thought he played outstanding. Christian Jones, I thought he played outstanding. Jelani Tavai, I thought he played outstanding. Those guys played amazing to me. By the time the first half had ended, we had 14 runs to 20 passes, and that was a good deal of balance. And I took out the one run because it would have been 15 to 20, but I took out the one run because I think the protection broke down on Stafford and he just bust up on him. But the two other runs that he had were by design. And I was very impressed with that. You know, so to me, I thought there was more good things in that game than I can account for. I like the fact that they kept everything in front of them until they really tried to go and keep everything in front of me and went into prevent, which that was around like the 4-minute mark. I hated the fact that Galladay had that one touchdown, but Trayvon Brock did knock his arms down. But I'm like, come on, Galladay, you got to snatch that in. That catch reminds me of when the Lions went against the Bears and Stafford threw a dart to him and he dropped it. When the game is on the line that big, he got to make a play, and he ain't been making the plays, you know. And so, but it's still just week one in terms of, you know, him getting his development up. But I was not there. It says, so was Galladay and Hockenson being covered one-on-one? Hockenson was. It said, I don't get why they couldn't exploit the mismatch. Hockenson was getting one-on-ones, and that's why he was exploiting it. Kenny Galladay, for some reason, like Marvin Jones, had a hard time creating separation. And it was something that I noticed immediately. It was something that I truly noticed immediately. Because the rest of the special team stunk to me. Outside of the guy kicking punts and the kicker getting that nice 55-yard field goal, it was suspect. You know? So, Terry Starr said the Colts don't have no run defense. They don't have no defensive ends. Then who was Bosa? Who was Ingram? They got some talent over there. Now, if you're telling me that those two not playing, then we'll talk about it. But I could have swore they was playing. They got a little bit of help over there now. It says after Patricia threw himself out in the mirror for a couple of hours, who do you think he goes at first? Agnew or Decker? No, that's gonna be a joint. That's gonna be a joint curse out. You got to cuss them out together so they can feel it, and you can embarrass them in front of each other. You can't just simply fair catch the ball and get it because you're looking to run before you caught it. Took your eyes off the ball, and by the way, we was up 17-0 at that point. If they get the ball right there, I have no doubts they score. And now it's 24-0, and the will of the Cardinals would have been to get out of the game without injuries. But yeah, he got to cuss them out together. And if not, he can get some help at tag team, and I'll cuss one of them out while he cussed the other one out. Because I got a few choice words for both of them. They're pathetic in what they was doing, and it was probably one of the once-of-a-lifetime bad games that they're going to ever have. I don't expect for that to be the norm. It just was the worst time to have it. It was 3 minutes when he punted the ball. I know, listen, yeah, because they was trying to kill clock. That's what I'm trying to point out to you, Nomis. They wasn't playing to win the game. When did they? Let me ask you a question. If it was 3 minutes when they punted the ball, how much time was it when they got it? And how many plays did they run before it? Because I watched the game twice. So if that was the case, my question becomes now, how much time did they have on the clock? Because they was trying to kill clock way too early. Way too early. And rather than go out and say, let me score and play to win, they didn't do that. And I can show you the charts and everything else, and I recorded the game. So if you want the whole game over again for yourself, I can send it to you. I'm telling you, they tried to kill clock with a lot of time on there. And then they went into that soft defense. Anybody who played prevent defense is trying to lose on purpose. I'm telling you, it's the worst defense you can play. You went into man coverage and played prevent defense. Not going to work. Ghost Gunner says Melvin stepped up. He did. They tried to pick on Melvin. Melvin was like, not in my house. Not today. You know, he did a very good job of killing that. Blue Jays, Sarge, I hope I said that right. Sarge, he says, I like Jalen Reeves-Maybin. That boy was playing real good. I mean, the touchdown he gave up to David. David Johnson was rough, but he was trying to, recover from something he didn't understand. I'm with Logic. Kenny was not in the game. I don't know why he couldn't create separation. I seen him burn people, but this game, he couldn't separate from nobody. Tremaine Brock, Byron Murphy, nobody. It was crazy. Slay was on an island. Yes, it was. They told that young man, stay away from him. Stay away from him. Vash Starway, he says, I'm no expert. I'm a big fan. I'm here to support Detroit sports fans. I love the DSA and all of you original OG DSA fans. We can make DSA bigger than Godzilla. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get as huge as possible. Because one of the things that I want to do is make sure that we get fair, unbiased media. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm just here to tell you that sometimes things need to be put in perspective. And when I walked out of that game, looking at that Lions game, I walked out with notes. I really had notes of all these good things that they did. And then I had a nice little list of bad. But when I looked at that Michigan game, I ain't have nothing I can say about them that was exciting. Nothing. So it said, to tell you the truth, I didn't see much of Marvin. It was a lot of Hockenson. Well, Marvin got his fair shots down the stretch, and he was about as sure of a catcher we had at that point. So thank God for that. He showed up a little bit, but Kenny Galladay needed to be a little bit more aggressive in creating separation. He did a good job of getting that touchdown, but I think that was play design that got him open on that touchdown underneath. And then he had another play where it looked like it should have been a catch, but he somehow lost the ball or something. So I don't know what he was doing. Revis was very good. Yeah. The Lions are who we thought they were. In my Danny Green voice. Dennis Green. You said Danny, but I get what you're saying. Dennis and your Denny Green. Dennis Green, RIP to Dennis Green, the former Cardinals and Minnesota Vikings head coach, great head coach. He said they are who we thought they were, and they played like it. They played down to the talent. Let me take that back. The head coaching played down to his talent. He got too conservative at the end of the game, and he played himself. That timeout was so minuscule to me. I can care less about that timeout. I ain't even gonna lie. I can care less about that timeout. I was more upset with the fact that you played prevent defense, and if you was in my Discord, I promise y'all, the people who on here who in my Discord vouch for me. The moment the clock was there, I said, "Here we go, playing not to win versus playing not to lose versus to win," and it was rough. It was rough. He was ignored until late in the game, and I don't know why. I thought we really should have blew those guys out a little bit more, and we didn't. D-Town says at one point the score was 24-6 in the fourth quarter. It's the defense and coaching. No, D-Town, it's the coaching. See, the thing is, when it's 24-6, okay, when it's 24-6, you have to understand that the game is still within reach. So one score, literally one more score, puts the game out of reach. Why? Because it now becomes a game of possession. Look how many points they would have had to score. So when you have a defense that's staying out there because you have your secondary backed off, your linebackers ain't blitzing. Like, how many blitzes did they have at the end of that game? Go and look at the end of that game and tell me how many blitzes did you see at the end of that game? Because I think you're going to find out that there was not many. They, for some reason, decided to let that man sit up there and have his best life in the back. He says Murray ran them in circles like Russell Wilson. He was a big part of causing defensive line to be exhausted. I don't even think that was it. To be honest with you, our pressure comes from the linebackers. We didn't send them like that. We just didn't. And I don't know why. That's a coaching issue. That's certainly a coaching issue. Again, this is y'all time to ask me any question that y'all want, and we're going to talk about it. I'll give you what my thoughts are based on what I saw. And I'm telling you, I watched the game twice, so you're going to get it. Gary the Rooter, he says, I was cussing when that happened. I was with you, G. Yeah, I was trying to kill clock with all that on there, man. Come on. You can't be trying to, you ain't saying no blitzes in that little stretch. You ain't saying no pressure at all. You refuse. You just set everybody back, got conservative, and then you came out running the ball just trying to kill clock. That's why when I go back to that Super Bowl, I say the most impressive thing that I saw in that Super Bowl was how they ran 4 minutes off there. Our 4-minute offense was horrible. Horrible. I don't even think we averaged more than 2.5 yards rushing in that 4 minutes. Vash Darwin says, you guys are awesome. You rock. You kicking an unlimited amount of assets. You see, I had to say assets. You see what I did there? It says, rise up, Detroit Sports Nation. That's what I'm talking about. It says, then we put Slay on him and he was disappearing. Yeah, Slay gonna make a lot of people disappear. That's what Slay there for. If he can't do it, we got a problem. Let's see. At Luke G, do you think Pats can survive a losing season halfway through? Nah, he can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. He can't even afford in the first quarter. So let me just help you understand something. I watch football a little bit different. I watch football in quarters. So there's 16 games in the season, 17 total weeks with them getting a bye week. And I watched it where I go, okay, for 4 quarters, the first 4 games, the second 4 games, the third 4 games, and the last 4. How do you perform? He can't get out the first quarter of games and without a winning record. He's got to come out with a 2-1-1 record in the first quarter of games. If he come out in a 1-2-1, they'll give him 2 more games and he's out of here. He won't make it to week 8 with a losing record. It just won't happen. I promise you. Because if he keep him, then that probably means that Bob Quinn is out of here. And Bob Quinn gonna keep his job. I think he's done a phenomenal job. I think the talent is there. Everything checks out for me. TJ Hockenson is everything I thought and some, because there were some plays in there that people didn't talk about. Like how he peeled all the way back from the right to the left to spring Stafford. Just enough to get in the way of the guy that spring Stafford free. What the only problem I had was, why didn't the coach keep a tight end over there to help out Dak? Oh, I can't say his name. My bad. Somebody already checked before that. I can't say his name. To help out the left tackle. Why didn't we put somebody there? Do you think Walker's going to have a good season? After that game 1, oh, yes, the hell he is. I can tell you this much. Quinn kind of irritated me a little bit. Diggs irritated me. Diggs irritated me a little bit because what Diggs did was it was one play where they had a chance to stop them and then go to 4th. And he came in and he hit that guy way too high. And the receiver ate it. The receiver ate it like it was nobody's business and went off and did his own little thing. That kind of irritated me. But yeah, I think he's going to be phenomenal, man. That dude's going to be, he tracked the ball so well, man. It's real scary. It says, when is Patricia going to chew in the defensive coordinator's butt? That is inexcusable. He's not, because believe it or not, I believe that old man Pasqualoni may be the defensive coordinator. I believe he may be the defensive coordinator. And you probably hear a little Luke G in the back, because I don't know how his sleeping pattern is, but apparently he thinks it's a good time to pop up versus going to sleep. So I'm probably gonna have another long night. But but I think Paul Pasqualoni is just there as kind of like a body. I think the defenses ran through Matt Patricia, in all honesty. So if he gonna chew out the defensive coordinator, he probably already did it in the mirror. Boss as a MF for 21. Ty Johnson needs more touches. Speed kills. He certainly needed more touches because the first run went for 6 yards. I mean, that's pretty good. 6 yards. Then we go down to see Daniel Griffin. He says, Coach admitted he did a poor job at least 3 times in his interview. At least he owned it. Yeah, he did. He had to. Because if he don't own it, guess what? Problems. You know what I'm saying? Problems. So that's how I see it. I see it as a person who needs to take accountability for it. But taking the blame for it is not enough. Jim Caldwell took a whole lot of blame. He's not here. I think it was 3 blitzes on the final 2 scoring drives. I'm going to go back and look at that, GM. George Morgan, I'm going to go back and look at that because I didn't see a blitz. I saw guys in contain and the guy in spy, and then when the quarterback moved, he took off and ran towards him. But I'll go take a look at it. Flowers just came off shoulder surgery and had like a few practices. I mean, I feel you, but what does practice got to do with this man, just being able to win a 1-on-1? Like, he was going against a backup left tackle. You got to win that matchup. You got to win it. Like, how else is it going to happen? You know, Ghost Gunner says our team don't deserve Stafford. The fans don't. I know they don't, because you'd be surprised. Go back and listen to our post-game podcast. Go back and listen to that. And you're going to look up and you're going to be like, yo, how are people was really talking about, oh, he almost threw an interception with 5 seconds. Instead of saying, why is he throwing the ball with 5 seconds in a game that's tied? A game they don't have no timeouts because the clock ticked down because apparently Danny Amendola thought he was Deshaun Jackson. And you have fans literally questioning, talking about he almost gave the game away. What pass could he have made with 5 seconds on the clock that was going to get us the win? That was going to and before you answer that, answer this question right here. What pass could he have made that would have been in time for them to get the catch, get up, put the ball down, and kick a field goal? I mean, look what would have he would have had to throw the ball in field goal range. Everybody would have had to run down there in 5 seconds, by at least 40 yards in 5 seconds, snap the ball to spike it in 5 seconds, and then get no, that wasn't happening. That was a dumb play by the head coach. He needs to understand the situation and not put our quarterback in a position to do it. Stafford is a competitor. Remember, the man showed up to practice after his wife had brain surgery. He played part of the season last year with broken bones in his back. So, yeah, I'm not buying that he almost threw the game away with 5 seconds. He should have been throwing the ball in the first time. It says you have to wrap your arms around them when you tackle. You ain't lying. Apparently, Quandre Diggs missed that one because that one play, if he just wrapped him up and drive him back, that's another down stop. But I'm not going to kill him for it. It's just that he was doing it quite often. But the standout to me was Tracy Walker, because I'm telling you, there was so many plays that he did, but none was more bigger than that play that would have gave them a nice chance to win the game, and he popped them. He popped the mess out of Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald didn't even know he was coming. He was like, man, and gave him props. Like, yeah, that happened. That went down. So it was one of them things where, you know, as much as we wanted to look at it a little bit different or talk about it a little bit different, yeah, it didn't go over well. It just didn't. So I think our left tackle sucks because he's a Buckeye. I don't think too many of us would disagree with you based on that. It's I think we should start blocking our running backs more. If y'all weren't paying attention, Kerryon Johnson was doing an amazing job blocking. There was a few blitzes that they sent, and Kerryon Johnson picked it up like a boss. I mean, like a straight boss. Not only did he pick it up, he held the block. And I'm talking about like, yo, this was happening all game. Now, I can't say that for the other guy. I can't say that for him. But I can say Kerryon Johnson blocked his butt off. It says Diggs is usually really good at hitting hitting last year. He did hit AB pretty good. Luke, do you think Patricia can learn from this mistake from game one? He has to. He has to. Now, before I get out of here, which will be soon, not now, but soon, I got to talk about the Pick'em League. I got to talk about it. Because we already know what's going on with the thing, but I'm not going to show you who picked who until probably tomorrow. Probably I'll show you tomorrow, but I can show you who the leaders are. I can show you because we got games going on today too. So those all count. So if you have not got your picks in, you better make sure you get them in. Okay. Because if you don't get mad when you realize that you messed up the church's money. Okay. Don't do that to yourself. All right. So right now it's looking real strugglish right now for me. I'm almost afraid to even show it. But you know, here we have to show it, man. We have to show what we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like. So hold on one second. In 1 minute, I'm gonna show you how we getting down out here. But yeah, it's not looking good. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So let's see. It says Luke G going to grow up for certain is super. Yeah. Hey, little Luke is going. He going, man. Listen, if as long as I got breath in these lungs, he's going to be something special. So both my boys are. He's better learn from this mistake. Yeah, he better. All right. So let me go ahead and just show y'all this. I want to show y'all the picks because I want y'all to see them. And I want to be able to give praise to the person who's doing good. That's what I want to do. So y'all should be able to see my screen, right, people? If you can't see my screen, let me know. So here we are. Let me do this. If you look right here, that is who is number one right now. So shout out to Broken Lion 69. Right now, he is in rare form. He has only got one game wrong. I don't know what he put in here. I am somehow in the third place, and I know why. It's because I lost the tiebreaker to Kedrix. So shout out to him for being in second place in week 1. But understand that this is a long season, and I am coming for everyone. I'm coming for you with vengeance because I believe that I will. I can succeed at this thing if I just believe. So let me see what else we got. We got let me see. Who else we got out here? We got so right now we got, and let me know again. Let me know if y'all can see this or not. All right. Let me know if it's there or not. So that way I can make sure that we are seeing it. All right. Let me take care of that right now. All right. All right. So share my screen. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me put this in here really quick. Sorry. Boom. Make it full screen for y'all right there. And let me take this off the screen so y'all can see what's going on. All right. So here's how it's looking right now. Broken Lion 69 has 12 points. He's only got one game wrong. His record is 12-1. Kedrix, who's beating me in tiebreakers, has 11 points. He's got 11.2 games. So he's got 11 games right, 2 wrong. I got 11 games right, 2 wrong. As well as Efficient Ellery. He's got 11 games right, 2 wrong. But he's losing to me in the tiebreakers. Those tiebreakers are important, people. 12th Man Pride has 11 games. So we are all tied for second, but in terms of the rankings per the system, his tiebreaker ain't saving him. Let's see who look like they doing the worst. So just to go slow through it so you can see it. Let me see. Let me point out all the DSA members. General G. Berry, sir, you have 3 games wrong. You got 10 right. 2 guys in the podcast, you got 10 games right. Man, that's a lot of y'all with the 10 games. MicroMike got 10 games right. Okay. Mars is landing, 10 games right. Michael Robinson, 10 games right. Now we getting down to some now. TA of Noble Sports Entertainment was one of 3 people who picked the Green Bay Packers, but as you can see, he's got 9 games right, 4 games wrong. Detroit Drew also has 9 games right. The Big Take, 9 games right. CA3 Sports Talk, 9 games right. Detroit Song Big Wheel, 9 games right. JT Sports, 9 games right. Here's the scary part, people. Dose of Dion did not get in until after the first game was played and still got 9 games right. Shout out to Dose of Dion. Detroit Legendary Sportscast. Shout out to Detroit Legendary Sportscast. He got 8 games right, 5 games wrong. He was the only person to pick the Arizona Cardinals to beat the Detroit Lions. So, we getting rough, people. 313 J-Mo. Ooh, buddy. ¿Qué pasa? What's up? J-Mo. Got 8 games right, 5 wrong. Okay. Dr. Dirks, 8 games right, 5 wrong. Gunner, Ghost Gunner, 8 games right, 5 wrong. Now we get into the basement. Okay. Tone Capone, 6 games right, 7 of them wrong. Sean Damon, 5 games right, 8 games wrong. And Morgan Trice, who forgot to get his picks in, 0 games. So again, people, you need to get those picks in. Alien Source TV, 7 games right, 6 games wrong. Lions Lee, shout out to Lions Lee and Morgan Trice, man. Those two are awesome. They are in the Discord. They keep it very entertaining in there. So if you're not in my Discord, you are missing out. But yeah, those guys are keeping it around. So that's where we at. We have the last game coming up. So these are going to change. And I'll make a video about it tomorrow. Make sure you get your picks in. Okay. Make sure you get your picks in. Now, if you was wondering how our group is doing, the actual group, the group leader got 12, and I got to see if I can get us back there. Where is it at? All right, here we go. Let's see if I can get us back there. Our group versus other people in the universe. Where we at? So these are the week 1 leaders on here on Yahoo as a whole. And these are the people who are doing good so far as a group. So these groups are doing the best. We do not rank in the top 10. We didn't get enough points. But that's okay because they probably got 100 people, nonetheless. But we still good. We still good, people. Yeah, that Browns game was hard to watch. Dre Barnes, what's up, man? What's going on? Yeah, so it was hard to watch. Let me see what we got going on here. So, down to the last few minutes, man. Give me your last few questions if you got them. I'll take them. I'm all for it. It's your word. It says I want to join. You're gonna have to find my video that says big announcement. Pick'em League for the fans. So that video has all the information on how to join, Gary. I announced that like 5 days before you had a chance to pick. So you may be a week behind. There's going to be a first, second, and third place winner to get a prize. These are cool prizes that you are going to want. You're going to want. I'm going to say it again. You're going to want these prizes. There's a first, second, and third place for those people. So if you join, you're going to be a week behind, but people are going to forget and you have a chance to do it. Robert Chapman says, hey, brother, I support the DSA, man. The DSA, whether y'all know it or not, the DSA is not just the members on YouTube. The DSA is you guys. You are the Detroit Sports Alliance. Those people who in Hawaii, Alaska, who love Detroit sports, who love the Pistons, who love the Lions, who love the Tigers, who love the Red Wings, who love Detroit sports. We are the entire alliance. It's all of us. That's why I say I am about the community. I am not about the other stuff. So the DSA has members, but those members are picked to make sure that we are the ones to give you the fair, unbiased media, and they give it to you factual. That's why I said my emotions want to just go ham on the team, but I gotta also be objective and say, guess what? There was a lot of good in that game. And it's just the facts. So just food for thought. So you guys, the DSA, it's growing. Y'all spread the word. Go on Reddit. Go on different places and let them know what's going on over here so they can come and follow and create the community even bigger. It says, yes, I love these fans. Let's grow. Let's get it. Hey, bro, I live in Texas. Hard place to be a Lions fan. Oh, I know it is. I like Texas football. And I live in Michigan, and people clown me like, you don't even live in Texas. So what? I live in Detroit. It ain't that much different. I've been in Houston. Don't play with me now. It says, Ty Luke, thank you, Luke, and all the members of the DSA Detroit Sports for Life. I love my city and teams. Man, hey, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be one pride. That's why if you ever pay attention to the different photos and things that we use them because they have messages to them, and the messages are clear. So when you're looking at the DSA and you're trying to figure out what's going on, it's because we're trying to send a message that we're all included. So when you see that covers the city, it's one city. When you see this on my thumbnail, and let me move this up so you can read what it say. Hold on. Let me make sure so you can read what it say. When you see this right here, Detroit Sports Alliance, one pride, one family, one community. It's because we're one. There's no greater one. When we talk to each other, it's for us to learn from each other. You guys have set me straight a lot of times, told me, hey, you wrong about this. And I went, oh, okay. And when, and sometimes you guys are giving me opinions about people. I've had people send me names of players that they want me to do film studies on, which, by the way, film studies are on their way. I have targeted a number of players that I am almost sure that the Detroit Lions have their eyes on. But I have to do a little bit more research to be sure about it before I give you my surefire bet on it, like I did with TJ Hawkinson. So let me see. We got it says us YouTubers are the factual media. Facts. Have a good night at Luke G Field Review and everyone in the chat. Hey, appreciate it, man, because I'm getting ready to hop off here as well. TD Texans. Hey, I see they having a little dog fight. With that being said, man, anybody else got a quick question for me? It says, with Davis back, we are going to get some sacks. Absolutely, because he got the speed to hawk you down. These dudes, I think Davis look like a bodybuilder. He got that fat neck. I ain't gonna lie, that dude do like he work out. And look, Keith up here talking, about to get 12 points. Y'all crazy, man. Let's see. It says, I love the research you guys do. Hey, I appreciate it, man. We work hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. We work hard. All of us have families, all of us have jobs, and we still find ways to get on here for you guys to get the best information possible. You saw how many of us, and I'm talking about the members from DSA. I think it was a few DSA members that went to those practices. You saw everything King. He's in DVE. He went to a bunch of those practices. These people on here that's working for this news for y'all, they are working hard. We're not just trying to report. We're trying to get you to the point. We're trying to get you to the point. Now, so it says, was that a 2-play touchdown drive? Listen, I'm trying to watch that game. I'm trying to be cool. I remember when people compared Jared Davis to Ray Lewis. I don't think that comparison is off. Y'all forget Ray Lewis, when he came into the league, he was in front of Tony Saragusa. You have any idea how much space Tony Saragusa took up? Could you imagine if you put Jared Davis, like if we had Ndamukong Suh, still had Ndamukong Suh, and you had Jared Davis, you know how much freedom he would have to run? Now he get a Snacks Harrison. So those guys should still get him lanes to run through. I mean, heck, Jelani Tavai came in clean. I mean, so let's be honest. The linebackers' life based off of the offensive line. The defensive line. Let's see. Oh my gosh, and they missed the PAT. Man, yeah, y'all getting rough out here in the street. I might not get that 12 points. Yep, I know. Somebody at my job knows who we are, bro. Shut the front door. That's what's up, man. Appreciate it. Fat neck. He do got a fat neck. Y'all, man, pay attention to Jared Davis. Jared Davis know he got a fat neck, but he a good player. I'm just saying that you can tell that dude, it's like he work out with his neck or something. Like, bro. Nobody in the DSA does a show picking games against the spread opportunity. I can do it. I didn't think people cared about it because we came back here. So I can do it if you want Kool-Aid and cornbread. Just let me know. I can do it. But a lot of the times people don't care about the spread because you can't really bet. So, just thought it was something y'all didn't care. Did they really miss the pad? Let's see. Top notch. As guys. Texans just missed. I mean, I see y'all talking about it, boy. Look, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and get up out of here, man. I appreciate all y'all who came in and rocked me for this little bitty hour and a half, man. Thank you so much. And again, as you can see, it states Detroit Sports Alliance, one pride, one family, one community, which means that we are one. And in case you don't know, in Lions the lions don't eat unless the pride is won. And so for me, you guys are you guys are that one. So I appreciate you, man. Yeah, now listen. This right here, this statement right here from George Moore, he says, Luke, you say you work hard, but this is one of those, if you love, it ain't work. I do love it. That's why I haven't monetized. I just enjoy being able to talk sports with you guys. The money and all that stuff, that's cool, but talking sports is one thing. Eventually I might monetize, but right now I don't see no point of it, But if I get big enough to where I can do this part-time and work part-time, and cool. I mean, that's great. I give you more content. But right now, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm only been on this thing for 5 months, people. I don't think y'all realize this. 5 months. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No. 5 months. 5 to 6 months is how long I've been in YouTube. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, again, shout out to everyone who came in and rocked with me. And, just want to tell y'all again, thank you so much. And leave you with this great piece of advice. Better yet, instead of me leaving you with a great piece of advice, let me give you a great piece of advice and a motivational quote. Because I think that sometimes we need to hear a good word. I just think sometimes you need to hear a good word. So let me think of a good one. Okay, I got one. I got it. All right, here you go. How do I want to word this? Okay, all right, I got it. I'm stop playing with y'all. I got it. It says, come out of the masses, stand alone like a lion, and live your life according to your own light and will. And you will find that in that moment, you are at your greatest. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't be no chump. Please do your research.